Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. It is time once more for our weekly painting progress. And I mean my, because I still have yet to see anything from my younger brother, who I have printed copious amounts of stuff for. So hopefully I'm going to call him out and we'll actually see something in the near future. But it's not going to be in this next few weeks because he's off running around in Europe with my parents. So yeah, hopefully he will get to work as soon as he gets back. So since it's just me, as always it seems, I needed to step up my game. And I'll be honest, I was in a bit of a painting slump until this dude showed up. Now I don't know if this is the most recent release or not, but this is good old Sagat from Street Fighter, courtesy of Erkman's Minis. And I feel I did a somewhat decent job. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward paint job. I like the fact that I did a decent looking color on his scar. May not have been the best print job, but again, I will call out Erkman. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about this, but you forgot his scar on the side of his head, so I had to try to paint one on to make it look like it matched it. He is supposed to have one. I mean, I'm not going to be a nerdy Street Fighter fan and meticulously complain about that, but I just did, so deal with it. I mean, overall, it's an easy sculpt to paint. I'm pretty happy with it. Sagat is a very large figure. I was looking for my Ryu, and I don't know where he is now. I'm like, just to give you guys an idea of what we're talking about here. I have very fond memories of when Championship Edition Street Fighter 2 came out, and it was only at this one local arcade family fun center type place, which really sucked because they would only give you 3 tokens to $1. I thought that was really, really cheesy, but they were the only place in town for quite some time that had Championship Edition. And so I rolled with my boy Sagat. My brother that lives in Japan rolled with Bison, and between the two of us on various machines and throughout the day managed to bilk a lot of kids out of their quarters. It was glorious. So yeah, my go-to has always been Sagat. So it was kind of nice. And like I said, I was in a bit of a painting slump this week. In weeks prior, I just couldn't get the motivation, and this guy just kind of was like, boom. I've always been a big fighting game fan. And I mean, I will admit that I love the fact that Erkman has produced so many figures from so many various games. Unfortunately, we don't have that many Samurai Spirits figures. We're going to have to step that up. I don't recall if we have a nice M. Bison or not. I refuse to call him Balrog just out of nostalgic value, but I mean, these are both fairly tall dudes. Sagat's up there, though, with my favorites. Maybe not so much as Nagoriyuki. These are also all Erkman minis. If you want to take a look at those, we always have the links down below. You know what? We need a Nagoriyuki in his actual, like, fighting stance. We've got him in all kinds of other taunt poses, you know, artwork. We don't have him in his fighting stance. We also don't have many more Arknights figures either, but we'll save that for another conversation on another day. All right, moving on. Sorry, Sagat. This is another of the Raging Heroes Chaos Warriors of the Grim Dark Far Future. And I don't know what I did with her face mask. I think it's supposed to have teeth. There's just a lot going on with this model, but I feel like I could say that about all of the Chaos models. And mine may not exactly match the sample renders that Raging Heroes did, but take a big old swig of coffee here. I feel like mine are decent enough. I mean, they suffice for the tabletop, and I'm happy with them. And I think, honestly, that's what really matters. They're good-sized figures, too. I mean, obviously, with the... I would assume this was supposed to be like a Karn-type model proxy, but I feel like we already have one. And that's kind of the thing I like, is that when Raging Heroes really wants to go in on something, they really make some interesting, really nice models. And like this month's Undead stuff has been really stellar. I will hopefully get around to doing a video. I feel like I haven't done one on their figures in a while, so I'll have to get to that if you guys aren't familiar with what they've been up to. But honestly, besides Sagat, the thing that really got me moving this week were these guys. Already went ahead and painted up a bunch of the Titan Forge. I don't know, they said they were Norsemen or barbarians or what. Man, that is still glossy. And what's crazy is I didn't use anything with gloss on him. I just really liked these figures. I put them all on 32mm bases, which seemed to work okay. I mean, yeah, you could print out bases, and they do have square and round options available. I feel like they didn't do any warrior hero options. You know, like I don't know, like exalted heroes. Like they had some crazy mutated guys and like four-legged dudes, but I feel like they didn't have just a straight up like exalted hero. At least that I was satisfied with. I think this one's probably my favorite. He's just so visually busy. I tried to give him glowing green eyes. I tried to do the skulls too, but it looked dumb, so I just painted over it. I like the hands holding his cape in place. I mean, they're just so spiky. And finally, we got... I mean, I don't know if he's supposed to be like the hero model or what. I mean, obviously you can use any of these bodies and any of these heads, and there were quite a few options. But he is one of the few that actually has this body, at least, extra side weapon with them. Just overall fun models. If you're curious, because as I said, these are supposed to be able to fit onto square bases. If you wanted to rank them up, they are going to be quite big and imposing. I mean, my first thought is still that they would make great chosen models, if that's something you're in the mood for. But in terms of size, I mean, actually with their inspiration here, I think this is an Underworlds model, but you can see they're pretty much about the same size. They're not like ridiculously larger or anything like that. Have to get the barbarian types painted up now. Now, I think these are all on 28, 25mm bases. I tried to go as small as possible. I forget. I think I just said something else, but oh well. Yeah, they're on small bases, and it actually worked out for the most part, other than this guy, because he's got that rocky outcropping, but even that, you know, managed to make it work still. So for me, I'm quite pleased with myself. Got out of a bit of a painting rut, got stuff done, got actually excited to paint things again, because sometimes I feel like, I'm just painting just to, you know, make a video or something, and it's not for my sake. But this week was for me, and I think that's really important, actually. So if you ever get in that rut like me, you know, find something that really just kind of excites you and ignites that spark of interest. And if you're interested in any of these, speaking of interest, we'll have those links down below so you can take a look yourselves and hopefully do a nicer job painting them than me. If you're really curious about how poorly I painted them, I will try, and I will not cross my fingers on this, but I will try to get them posted on some sort of social media at some point this week, if I can remember I actually have free time, and we'll put that weekly painting progress hashtag so you guys can check that out. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.